way. At first, I wanted to talk about the current innovation. The goal with AI, with OpenAI, with Microsoft Copilot, is more to revolutionize the way that we work. I see AI for me as an assistant. That's pretty much what Microsoft CEO talk about is AI should become an assistant on your day-to-day work. And one way that I did embrace it myself is everything I need to do every day, I try to see how either ChatGPT or Microsoft Copilot can help myself. And I tend to send everything within ChatGPT or Copilot to try to have results. That's my own ChatGPT that I used every day. As you can see, what I've used today, what I've used in the last 7 days, what I've used in the previous 30 days. I wanted to show you a real example of what we're doing internally. I want to start with something funny. Is my wife want to improve our backyard. I even use ChatGPT to create a design for my own backyard and try to generate inspiration. It's just a funny way to show you what's the potential. But here's some more business example. As an example, we're working on doing a lot of demos and different videos for Business Central, and I was working with Jocelyn on the side of Business Central to write different script, write different scenarios that we can do demos. We generate a list of demos teams that we can do and we want to create. And this way we use ChatGPT to generate ideas, to generate ways that we want to create content. So like I told you, every time I want to do something, I always ask myself is, can I try in ChatGPT and see the result it does? And it's pretty much the same with Microsoft Copilot. They're using ChatGPT as the backbone. So as an example, I want to create an email sequence for a new prospect, and always starting with ChatGPT to see what I can propose. And then I use that as a template to improve my content. I'm gonna go into Dynamics 365 and show you different examples for the integration of Microsoft Copilot within the Dynamics 365 suites. The first thing I like to show is the current evolution of what Copilot is going to bring for most CRM, for most Dynamics 365 implementation. One thing that they brought is the ability to create apps, to create tables, to customize Dynamics 365 with the knowledge of Copilot. So as of today, if I want to create new columns, new fields in Dynamics 365, I need to go within my tables, within make.power apps, and configure everything myself. And what they're currently bringing in terms of preview is the ability to create your own application through make.power apps. So instead of like having to define all the different new columns, new fields I want, the type of fields that I want, I can simply ask ChatGPT, I want to manage inspection for a garage door company that does installation and reparation to businesses. Then I send out Copilot's gonna try to create the application's gonna try to create a table with different information, with different information. It's not perfect. We are currently in the infancy of their capabilities, but you can see how quickly I'm able to create a lot of different columns. I can customize my CRM this way. I can tell them, oh, I want to add a column to add a picture of the garage door. I can always use that to customize my CRM. There's still issues. It's not perfect. The idea today is to show you what's the current evolution that's gonna become with Copilot. So instead of taking maybe months to create an application and to create a new Power Apps to manage inspection, I can do something within days and I can work faster. As of today, the it's not always the best. As an example, for the picture, you put an URL instead of putting a feature, a picture format. I need to change that after, but there's still possibility that I can build an app faster, and I'll be maybe within a year or maybe two, be able to really use Power Apps and build apps completely with simple text information. I'll be able to tell him, oh, I want a field that's going to do that. I want a lookup field that's able to connect those two tables. And I want you to create relationship in between those information. That's the part that we're going to be able to build and customize Dynamics 365 much faster and be able to go further in terms of automation. What you've seen today is as the same capabilities in terms of Power Automate. We can create automation with text like that. Like I'm saying, it's not ready as of today, but it's something that's currently starting. So what it means is you'll see further in next few months, weeks, years, our ability to create customization, to create automatization within Dynamics 365 much faster and create more complex automation. And one of the example I want to share as an example, one of the big point behind Power Automate is the ability to create Power effects formulas. That's the way that Microsoft is handling code within Dynamics Power Automate. And as of today, we can use Copilot to suggest and to create formulas that before you needed to know and know how to code those specific formulas. So it's a huge step forward that everybody will have that capacity to customize and to make sure that Dynamics 365 evolve. And personally, it's one of the key difference and key element that's going to be a huge leap forward for Dynamics 365. I'm going to go back within my CRM. That aspect, you can activate Copilot as a preview as of today. It's a feature. I can send you the help article from Microsoft if you want to do it. It's not, again, it's a preview. It's an infant. Sometimes he's amazing. Sometimes he's doing mistake or he's kind of lost. But the goal today is to show you the potential it has. So as an example, I can ask him, oh, I want to see my current pipeline. So it's gonna give me more information of my current opportunity open. It's gonna create me a chart that I can see my opportunity. I can ask him to summarize some of those opportunity and have more details about that. Before that, I had to click within opportunity to go see each one of them and try to find more information. And all that can be done within one screen. And I'm saving time clicking on left, right, trying to find different information. And I'm trying to find a specific opportunity, but it's not there. It's fine. But you can summarize each one of them. I can ask also to have, as an example, the latest news on my accounts. If I'm an account manager, if I'm working customer service, if I'm doing customer success, I can ask him if, as an example, I'm tracking on my email, if there's any emails I need to follow up. And all those suggestions are improving every day. One of the example here, I can ask him to prep my next sales meeting, and it's funny. They're asking me saying that I kind of just created my demo this morning, but I've got a meeting tomorrow that should work. Let me just try again. Okay, we're gonna try it a different way. The second part with Copilot for Sales is you have the ability to summarize emails. I've got some friends that write me every time Bibles. So emails with over like 1,000 words with a lot of information that's hard to read. Here's one of the example of long and hard email to read, and I'm trying to find which information and what is asking me. And whenever you have Copilot for Sales, it has the capabilities to read the email, to summarize it on a side, to give you key points. Just trying to refresh again. It can give you key points about that emails and suggestion on different things that you can do for that specifically. I'm just gonna open Copilot for Sales. You'll see it's gonna read the email. It's gonna generate a summary of the current situation. It's gonna give me, like the integration from Dynamics 365, it's gonna give me all the information it can find within opportunities, within teams, within the different contacts. But what's interesting as of today is gonna give me the key info, what's happening within that email and what the customer is asking. I can click to draft an email. I can tell him to reply and generate a reply to that specific inquiry. Based on the email, he's able to write his answer by itself. I don't need to use it completely, but I can use that as a draft to generate my answer. As an example, let's copy that. And I can modify my answer, remove some part. I can even tell him to reduce the length. If I don't like the reply, I can tell him to try again. I can also I don't know if you guys have been using ChatGPT, but I can tell him to change the tone, change the way that he's writing. This way I can save a lot of time in terms of email writing, email reading, and make sure that I can move faster through my inbox. This feature works also for meeting. As an example, I've got a demo coming up for adventure work. I can use Copilot for Sales. It's gonna look with all the information within the CRM. It's gonna try to summarize what's happening for that specific opportunity. As an example, he's telling me, oh, okay, the deal estimated close date has not been updated. It's been in 2023, but it's giving me a bit of a overview of what they want, what they are looking, what's their goal, what they want from the CRM. This way I can go within the CRM to get more information. He's basing himself on the different emails that I had with the customer, with the different notes I had with the CRM. Quickly, you'll see there is a new section called highlight. This gonna do an highlight of all the latest notes, latest information I've got within the CRM. So this way I can know quickly what's the situation. As an example, if I wasn't the owner, I'm coming back on a deal, I can know what's happening, what's being the different exchange within that lead and within that specific opportunity. We're gonna try, it's not working, but it's been working this morning, but I could ask him to prepare my sales appointment, and he was giving me more detail about that specific opportunity. Again, if I want, I can move up within the account. As an example, here I'm within the account. The highlights section will be there again. So if it's an example, I've got highlight to a specific opportunity, but I'll have highlight as well to to a specific section to a specific account. So it's an example here. You can see all the information I had within my CRM, giving me more information, more details, and getting a lot of intelligence on what I should do, what I should work, how I can improve that accounts. They're telling me, "Oh, okay, that's what you sold, what opportunity," and all that. I'm saving clicks, I'm saving times, and I'm getting more intelligent on my account management and sales strategies. Just gonna go to the next part. What's important as of today in terms of feature and functionalities for Dynamics 365 sales? That's pretty much the main part is the chat box, that you can ask questions, that you can ask summaries and information from different entities in Dynamics 365. The second part is the highlight within the activities. So any tables that you have, activities that you have, emails, notes, discussion, meetings, that you'll have that highlight feature that's gonna always try to summarize what's happening within that specific opportunity. The big point, what's happening with Copilot, we've got those two features, but there is a lot of new functionality that's supposed to come by September 2024. Different thing about like having the ability to suggest update within CRM. I've been a salesperson in the past. I know it's a challenge to always update your CRM correctly, but having the ability based on the call, based on the information to automatically update your CRM is a good point. The ability to generate also profiles on key stakeholders. They can use information from the web to generate information within the CRM. So as an example, we'll be able to say, okay, here's the different stakeholders for specific companies. I would like to have profile on each one of them, what they are doing in their day-to-day. I'll be able also to manage my agenda to be able to recommend different timetable. I know sometimes with demos, sales meeting, I'll be able to tell him, oh, I would like to schedule and give like 2, 3 timetable that they can book me on. I know that you can use booking, but it's different way that we can use. It's the same with Dynamics 365 Business Central. I'm sorry, I'm just want to open that. There was a lot of features coming in Business Central. As of today, it's quite limited in Business Central, the ability of Copilot. They can write marketing documentation, but they don't have a lot of features of what Copilot can do in Business Central. But I'm gonna show you again something that we did within Copilot and what's possible to create as well. What's coming up in Business Central for Copilot is the ability to chat like you've seen in Dynamics 365 Sales. They're gonna have the same feature coming in Business Central. The second point is the ability to map e-documents to purchase order lines. So the ability to create more information within those documents and be able to generate those documents much quickly. There is another one is about creating Power Automate flow with Copilot for Business Central. It's gonna again add much more feature in terms of automation. And one of the big point I wanted to show you guys is there is a lot coming up for September in next release, and I think Microsoft's gonna keep pushing in terms of automation and how AI can integrate within the CRM. I wanted to show you a use case. Our Business Central team has been working in a hackathon with Microsoft, so they had to develop a use case or an example of an app they could use with Copilot and with AI. Pretty much the app that they did develop is an app that's able to gather information from the web to create purchase quote. So the idea there is to generate that information within CRM. I'm sorry, within Business Central. I want to showcase that application. It's not something that's completely functional. It's more inspirational today, is to show you the capability of what we can add within Business Central, and what we'll be able to build in terms of AI enhanced feature within the different tools. So as an example, I want to create purchase quotes. I go within purchase quote. I'll create a new purchase quote from a suggestion from chat, from Copilot. I tell them, oh, I want to buy that specific product. I ask them to find vendors in Montreal. They're gonna look on the web for different vendors that has listed that specific product on their website within the next last year. They're gonna generate a list of vendors. As an example, all those vendors we did verify, they all have that specific product listed on the website. So they recommended 5 different vendors for that specific product. I asked them to generate a RFQ quote for those specific vendors. They're just gonna generate the documents. I've got 5 new quotes that was created. Then I can ask Copilot to generate emails. This way I can communicate with each one of them without having to generate the email myself. Everything's gonna be tracked within Business Central. So this way I can save a lot of time. You can see Copilot is using OpenAI information to generate the email, to specify the product, to specify everything. I can modify the email, put my information, put all the details. I can send the quote to each one of them. The idea behind that video is something that we built to use different tools, to use Bing AI, to use Copilot, to be able to search information from the web, gather information within Business Central, generate emails from Copilot, OpenAI, text generation, and all that is something personally that would have taken me maybe 1 or 2 hours to achieve everything, to research all those companies, to gather all their emails, to write that email. All that would have taken me a lot of time. Just going back within the CRM. There is another feature I wanted to show you today. It's something that kind of appeared within Dynamics a few months ago. There is a feature within Sales Enterprise that's called Sequence. The idea behind Sequence is the ability to create automation on the sales perspective. As an example, I've got a new opportunity. Instead of doing manual follow-up every week or so, I can create a sequence that's gonna generate those activities and set up activities for myself to send those emails. So I'm just gonna click on sequence. When I was doing consulting in the past year, so one of the issue when you want to create automation like that is I need to create templates. I need to think about, okay, how can I set up the best sequence or way that I can connect with a prospect? But as an example, here with the use of Bing AI, I can generate those templates. I'm just gonna try to open that one. As an example, a bit earlier, I told Microsoft Copilot, oh, I want to do a sequence for new prospect. Can you write me different emails? So they wrote emails. I told them, oh, we are a ERP and CRM company called Gestisoft. Can you adapt a bit the email and be a bit more friendly, but still professional? So they changed me those emails. And I can still always tell them where I want to go with those emails, where I want to do with those follow-ups. And then I can set within Dynamics 365 those activities. And one of the big point is using that technology and using the sequence with Dynamics. I don't need to always send an automated email. I can simply create a task within Dynamics. What it means is, okay, as an example, I'm currently managing about like 25 different opportunities. I might be lost and might drop the ball on specific opportunities, forget to do follow up. And by using sequence and by using templates that I can generate with Copilot, I'm able to create myself a sequence with templates that's gonna generate me tasks to do those follow up. So instead of using my list of opportunity and following with different opportunity and which one I should follow up, I'm just gonna try. I can simply stay in task and see all the different tasks that my CRM is gonna generate me. So this way, the CRM can generate tasks for lead management and can generate tasks for opportunity follow-ups, all with different templates. And myself as a salesperson, instead of trying to find my way, okay, which opportunity, which leads, which account I should follow up, everything will be centered in task based on automatic generation from sequence. This way, I've got my template. I can decide if I can send the email myself, if I want to modify the template from Copilot. If it's a specific account, I can modify the information. If it's not, I can decide to use the template as is. But this way, I'm able to never forget about an opportunity. Make sure that my leads are always in times in terms of my follow up, and that's a huge point in terms of lead management and opportunity, because you'll never forget something. So instead of like trying to manage everything within a dashboard and getting lost, this way I can easily, with sequence, with the template, I can easily follow up on all my leads quickly and save a lot of times on my different follow up. Just going back to my opportunity. Again, with Copilot, I can generate emails, I can generate different content. As you can see, it gets information with the current opportunity. I just want to make sure it's the right one. Okay, I've got a quote here. I want to do a follow-up with the quote. It's gonna get the information. I can copy the information. I can also send the email. Just an example, I want to do an email. You'll see there is Copilot there. I can ask on specific account contact opportunity or lead for Copilot to generate the email for myself. But I can use also Copilot to adjust an email. So as an example, if I did write my template, just trying to showcase an example. If I did write my template, I can tell Copilot to adjust this email. Okay, to be more friendly, I want it more short. And they're gonna simply update the information. I I went fast on that, but the goal there is, if you're seeing Copilot as a tool, you can always use different way to adjust the task, to modify your email, to be much faster in your day-to-day work and stop doing grunt work that you find a bit more challenging. Also, more and more, you can see that Copilot is gonna use information from different tables, gonna adjust the information. As an example, if I were in the opportunity, they would use the information with, as an example, the close date, the amount, the quote that I send them. This way I can save a lot of time gathering the information from my CRM. The third thing I wanted to show you guys is, as an example, I personally like to generate memos. So as an example, I'm generating memos on different information. That's a strategy that we have at Gestisoft, is to build a lot of apps that's gonna be available on App Stores. As an example, as of today, we've got different apps that are the SharePoint integration, the electronic fund transfer. We've got a contract management. We've got a sales dashboard available on AppSource. But to do a summary, it's what we're doing as an example in terms of management. We've got internal demos on what we're doing in terms of strategy, what we're doing in terms of developing those apps. If I'm a new person working on that strategy at Gestisoft, I can simply take that document, ask Copilot to summarize the document. Quickly, it's gonna give me all the information, and to be honest, it's a real document that we have. So that's a real example. I can ask him to make the summary shorter. It won't be long. And I can also ask him different tasks. As an example, I could ask him to do to-dos or different IDs to what I should do next with that document. And one thing that Pierre Lemay, our CEO, showed us last week is I'm able to use Copilot to generate a presentation deck from a Word document. So as an example, I can tell him, oh, I want to create a presentation from my file. The file is everything is an app. It's going to take a few minutes, but it's going to build the whole deck based on my document. It's going to use my different titles, my different information I put in every section. So if I needed to do a presentation on that specific memo, it's going to generate everything. To do on that specific. As of today, the current challenge that we have, Office 365 Copilot is different from Dynamics 365 Copilot. So the only issue, and it's in the roadmap, but there is going to be an integration within the two solution and making sure that both Copilot talks to each other. So this way, as an example, if I'm working on a memo to a specific opportunity, I can gather information from that specific opportunity and make sure it comes within my either Word, my presentation. I can save time gathering those information, and I can move much faster in between the different aspect of my presentation. So again, the tool here, you can see it created 21 slides with different titles, with different information. It went really fast. Personally, I hate doing PowerPoint presentation. It takes me so much time to do everything. I tend to also spend a lot of time designing and putting information on slide. Again, it's not perfect, but I'm saving a lot of time with that template, and I'm able to move on with that template and customize it and change the information it generated to prep my presentation. But you can see all the information that we've got within that presentation, and use everything I had within my Word document, and it created a presentation. So as an example, if I had the board wanted to know more about that strategy, now I've got a 21 slide deck that I'm ready to customize and adapt with my needs. And instead of taking me maybe 4 hours to generate, I've got a huge start with the current transformation with my Word document, and saving a lot of time. And to be honest, also that Word document, that demo, it's all been generated with Microsoft Copilot. I went in with Copilot. I told him what I wanted for each one of those sections. I said, okay, the part one about app development, here's how we're going to work. So all those both documents have been generated within 1 hour, and it's been much faster than what I would have done in the past. That's a bit of a summary of my presentation. I don't know if you had some question, if you wanted me to showcase more specific use case with Copilot, what's possible. Right now, it's like I said before, it's in infancy. There is a lot of different things you're able to do. There are sometimes you get error or different thing. I never stop at error. I always play with it. I always like to play around, and most of the time I'm able to. Uh, yes, you can set up a role access or a security role. For the preview, there is a setting that you can configure which group that you want to have access to Copilot. I can quickly try to show you what it looks like in the setting. Just give me a second. Won't belong, but you can set up the configuration. You can set up within which app you want to have the information. You can set up the different thing that you want to have within those. Uh, and you can define which person's gonna have access to it. It's not perfect at this moment, the current version. I think it's in the Power Apps admin. I'm sorry, I can send you a screenshot later on. But in the Power Apps, you can select the specific security role that's gonna have access to Copilot. The other way you can also, as an example, you could save create a new app. So instead of using Sales Hub, you can create a new version of Sales Hub and make sure it's only accessible. If you want to have specific people that play with Copilot, you could do like a Sales Hub dash AI, and you could give access only to that specific app that's gonna have all the same information from the CRM. Is there any other question, anything that you want me to showcase, any real life example that you want to share with AI? So thank you so much for being here. If you need help setting up Copilot within your environment, it's quite easy. You can set it up directly in the sales setting. If it's not set in your environment, the first step is to set up in admin.powerapps.com. If not, you're not used to. Yes, the recording will be within the meeting. We're gonna send also the YouTube recording maybe within the end of the week or early next week. It takes us a few time to remove some part of the montage, but we're gonna send you everything within the next 3 to 5 open days. But it's still gonna be available directly in this meeting. The second part that you need to configure for Copilot, there is a setting within your environment to make sure that Copilot is available within Dynamics 365. That's what I told you about, like the different configuration that you need to be done. So if it's something that you find interesting that you want to activate, there's 2 different ways you can write to Mark. He's gonna be happy to direct you to the right person. You can write to the supporting and they can help you as well. If not, I'm just gonna send you a learn document within this meeting so that you can follow different stuff. And don't hesitate to write if you have more more specific question. You can write to me directly. I'll be happy to help you out and give you more indication on how you can leverage AI in your business.